The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night.
Shouldn't we take a fucking look at making that legal?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy that you have something that grows in the ground naturally. It grows on cow shit. It's all over the world naturally. People have been taking it for centuries. Who knows how many thousands of years? Who knows? Like, when did they start taking mushrooms? What's the earliest known use of mushrooms?
That's a good question. When is
I wonder when because they get pretty good at that. They get ayahuasca down. I think they know when that was. They think that peyote's a weird one.
Yeah,
peyote they say is like really recent.
I have not tried that one.
The answer Google gives me is that some 6,000 years ago.
Prehistoric rock art near Villa de Humo in Spain suggests that the psilocybe hispanica was used in religious rituals 6,000 years ago.
Sounds about right. Wow. Imagine what they thought they were seeing or what they were actually seeing in that time.
Oh my God. Of course. That's what John Marco Allegro said is the birth of Christianity. He said it was all about psilocybin mushrooms. He was this guy who was an ordained minister who became agnostic as he was studying theology, and he was one of the people that was hired to decipher the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah.
So for 14 years, this guy worked on the Dead Sea Scrolls, and then he wrote this book, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. And in the book, he was saying this was all about consumption of psychedelic mushrooms and fertility rituals. That's what these original stories were about.
Crazy.
And he believed that and this guy was like a straight-laced scientist. He was like a straight-laced academic, rather. He wasn't like a guy who was a tripper. He wasn't a Timothy Leary type dude. He was just a regular scholar who was like, what I get out of this and the origin of these words, you can go back. He believed that the word Christ came from an ancient Sumerian word that meant a mushroom covered in God's semen. So people thought that when it rained, it was God coming on the earth.
Right.
And then these mushrooms would rise out, because you know how quick mushrooms go.
They pop up
and then
quick,
they would eat these mushrooms and trip balls. So of course they thought that this was, they were in contact with God through this gift.
Yeah, God's medicine right there.
Maybe they were right.
Could be.
Maybe they were right.
I mean, some of the things people see.
Maybe they were right, man. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, some of the things people see are incredible, man.
It's funny how we're resistant to that.
Well,
it's funny how people are resistant to that.
It goes against the norm wash that we've been living under for so long.
Yeah. What was that, Jamie?
Putting together the cows and the dung.
Can I see it?
Because I feel like we've seen the bull,
right?
This image before,
right?
Then to see the mushrooms next to it, I don't know that I've seen that before. They're so close.
Yeah,
that's a
Is there
trip.
a correlation since that's where they grow?
It must be. I mean, they must know that they grow on cow shit. That's where they grow.
So Spain.
Do you know where Duncan Trussell used to live? How crazy is this? They used to give the cows an anti-fungal feed so that their shit couldn't grow mushrooms in them. Because it was in Asheville, North Carolina, and so many kids were going out there and just picking mushrooms off cow shit and just tripping their fucking balls off that they had to put a stop to it. You goddamn hippies are going to ruin this town. So they poisoned the cows. They give this cow this antifungal shit. I don't know if it poisoned the cow. I'm being hyperbolic. Yeah. But they gave the cow this antifungal shit.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do what it naturally does, which makes the perfect habitat for psilocybin. So they starved out all the magic mushrooms. I don't even know if that worked. Because that was what Duncan told me. We should research this. That might be a total myth.
Even if it did, those kids found another way to get mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. Once they got them, they got them.
Yeah. There's
Once they got them, they got
so many ways to get any of that now.
Yeah. There's so many places, though, where it grows naturally still to this day. It's a Schedule I substance that just grows naturally. You don't have to process it. You don't have to do anything. You just pick it and eat it.
Yeah.
And it's illegal, which is like, okay. So,
I think that'll change. I mean, you see more acceptance of it as of late. And the fact that they're willing to study it and talk about the actual good it's been doing in those studies. I mean, it seems like it's a move in the right direction. It's just slow.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day.